Deep within the lush, green rainforests of South America, a creature exists that proves big dangers can come in very small packages. This isn't a jaguar or a venomous snake, but a caterpillar. It is called the assassin caterpillar, or by its scientific name, Lenomia obliqua. This tiny creature is the larval stage of the giant silkworm moth, but don't let its humble beginnings fool you. It has earned a fearsome reputation as the most dangerous caterpillar on the entire planet. Found primarily in countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, it spends its days quietly moving along the bark of trees, a silent and deadly threat hiding in plain sight. What makes this caterpillar so incredibly dangerous is how perfectly it blends in with its surroundings. Its body is a masterpiece of natural camouflage. Covered in shades of brown and green, its skin has a texture that looks almost identical to the tree bark it calls home. To make its disguise even more effective, its body is covered in spiny, bristle-like projections that look like little bits of moss or lichen. This amazing camouflage means that people can accidentally brush up against it without ever seeing it. You could be leaning against a tree, completely unaware that a cluster of these assassins is right beside you. These caterpillars are not aggressive loners. They often live in groups. You might not find just one, but dozens of them clustered together on a single tree trunk. This group behavior makes an accidental encounter much more serious. Instead of touching one set of spines, a person could make contact with many caterpillars at once, receiving a much larger dose of venom. This is why so many incidents happen to unsuspecting people enjoying the forest, from local workers to curious hikers. They simply don't see the danger until it is far too late, making this small creature a true silent killer of the rainforest. The life of the assassin caterpillar is all about survival until it can transform into a moth. Its potent venom is purely a defensive tool. It isn't trying to hunt people. It's just trying to protect itself from predators like birds or lizards that might want to eat it. The sharp, hollow bristles that cover its body are like a coat of tiny, venom-filled needles. When something presses against them, the tips break off, piercing the skin and injecting a powerful toxin. It's an incredibly effective defense mechanism that ensures most animals learn to leave this little caterpillar well alone after just one painful encounter. So, what happens when someone accidentally touches one of these camouflaged creatures? The initial contact might not even hurt. Unlike a bee sting or a spider bite, you might not feel anything at all at first. The caterpillar's bristles are so fine and sharp that they can pierce your skin without you even noticing. These hollow spines act like tiny hypodermic needles, delivering a dose of complex venom directly into your bloodstream. The real trouble doesn't start with the sharp pain. It begins silently, as the venom gets to work inside your body, starting a dangerous chain reaction that can have devastating consequences if not treated quickly. The venom of the assassin caterpillar is a powerful anticoagulant. Now that might sound like a complicated word, but it has a very simple and dangerous meaning. An anticoagulant is a substance that stops your blood from clotting. Normally, when you get a cut, tiny cells in your blood called platelets rush to the scene and stick together to plug the hole. The caterpillar's venom completely shuts down this natural healing process. It essentially destroys your body's ability to form blood clots, leaving your circulatory system without its most important safety feature. This is what makes the venom so uniquely terrifying and deadly. Imagine your body as a network of pipes filled with water. If you get a small leak, you can usually patch it up easily. But what if you suddenly lost the ability to patch any leaks at all? That is exactly what the Lenomia venom does. It travels through your bloodstream and systematically dismantles your clotting system. This means that even the tiniest, unnoticed bump or bruise can lead to unstoppable bleeding under your skin. Your body is left completely defenseless against any internal or external injury, turning a simple touch into a life-threatening medical crisis that requires immediate and specialized attention. The danger increases with the number of caterpillars you touch. A single caterpillar might deliver a small amount of venom, leading to localized symptoms. However, since they often live in groups, brushing against a whole patch of them can inject a massive dose of the toxin. This overwhelming amount of venom rapidly accelerates the breakdown of your clotting factors. The more venom that enters your system, the faster and more severe the symptoms will become. It's a race against time, as the venom works relentlessly to turn your own blood against you, paving the way for massive internal bleeding. The first signs that you've been envenomated by an assassin caterpillar are often subtle and can be easily dismissed. A few hours after contact, you might notice a slight burning sensation at the site where the bristles touched your skin. A headache might start to develop, and you could feel a general sense of unease or sickness, similar to the beginnings of the flu. Soon, more telling symptoms appear. You might see large, dark bruises forming on your body, even in places where you weren't injured. These are signs that bleeding is already starting to happen underneath your skin. As the hours pass, the symptoms become much more serious and alarming. The lack of blood clotting ability starts to show in more obvious ways. You might experience spontaneous bleeding from your nose or gums. When you brush your teeth, the bleeding might not stop. You could also notice blood in your urine, which is a clear sign that internal bleeding has begun in your kidneys. This condition is incredibly dangerous because it's happening on the inside, where you can't see the full extent of the damage. The person might feel increasingly weak, tired, and unwell as their body loses blood. If medical help is not sought, the situation can escalate into a full-blown medical emergency. The uncontrolled internal bleeding can affect major organs. Bleeding in the brain can cause a stroke, leading to paralysis or death. The kidneys can fail as they become damaged by the bleeding, which is a life-threatening condition on its own. The body can go into shock as blood pressure plummets. In the most severe cases, the victim can suffer from massive internal hemorrhaging, which is when bleeding occurs throughout the body cavity. This is why the assassin caterpillar has earned its deadly name. It is crucial to understand that these severe symptoms can take up to 72 hours to fully develop. A person might feel relatively fine for the first day, leading them to believe they are not in any real danger. This delay is what makes the caterpillar so insidious. It gives a false sense of security while the venom is silently and systematically destroying the body's ability to protect itself. This is why any contact, no matter how minor it seems, must be treated as a serious medical event. Waiting for severe symptoms to appear before seeking help can be a fatal mistake. If you or someone you know ever comes into contact with an assassin caterpillar, it is vital to act quickly and calmly. The first and most important step is to prevent more venom from entering the body. You must carefully remove any of the caterpillar's bristles that are still stuck in the skin. A great way to do this is by using sticky tape, like duct tape. Gently press the tape onto the affected area and then carefully peel it off. This will help pull out the tiny embedded spines without squeezing more venom into the wound. After removing the spines, the next step is to clean the area thoroughly. Wash the skin with soap and plenty of cool water. This will help wash away any remaining venom from the surface of your skin. Once it's clean, you can apply a cold compress, like an ice pack wrapped in a cloth, to the site of the sting. The cold temperature can help to slow down the spread of the venom through your bloodstream, giving you more time to get to a hospital. These first aid steps are important, but they are not a cure. They are only temporary measures. The most critical step of all is to seek professional medical help immediately. Go to the nearest hospital as quickly as you can and make sure to tell the doctors that you have been stung by a Lenomia caterpillar. There is a specific antivenom available that can reverse the effects of the venom and restore the body's ability to clot blood. Receiving this antivenom promptly is the key to preventing the most severe symptoms and ensuring a full recovery. Do not wait to see if you feel sick. Treat any contact as an emergency. Interestingly, while this caterpillar's venom is deadly, scientists have discovered that it might also hold a secret to saving lives. Researchers are studying the powerful anticoagulant proteins in the venom very closely. They believe that these proteins could be used to develop new medicines. A drug based on this venom could potentially be used to prevent dangerous blood clots in patients who are at risk for heart attacks or strokes. It's a fascinating twist of nature that the same substance that causes uncontrolled bleeding could one day be harnessed to create a life-saving medication. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Your support really helps the channel grow.